Hey there guys, Jordan here, back with another reaction video, and it's going to be another death battle. And this death battle is going to be Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer, DC versus Marvel. So, another Marvel versus DC battle against two extraterrestrial beings. I know about Martian Manhunter and Silver Surfer, but not like so much as what their powers are, what their origins were, as well as their experiences in battles. But we'll just see how it plays out since we're going to learn more about them before we get to their fight. So anyway, without further delay, let's get to it. Alright, and let's begin. Oh, a new logo. That's interesting.
Martian Manhunter, DC Space Ranger. The Silver Surfer, Marvel's Sentinel of the Spaceways.
Okay.
The depths of space hold secrets beyond our comprehension. But these sage superheroes have seen more of it than any of us could ever hope to. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Alright, first up, Martian Manhunter.
For as long as mankind has looked upon the night sky, the stars have beckoned the brave to search the unknown and explore its endless wonders. Like Dr. Saul Erdell, who's kind of a doctor in the same way Dr. Pepper is a doctor. This
Okay,
guy's got
then.
no formal education, but that didn't stop him from messing around with some ancient tech he stumbled upon. He was desperate to live out his boyhood dreams of exploring the cosmos. So with the tech's advanced capabilities, Erdell created a machine that would bring the cosmos to him. He pointed the machine at Mars, pushed a button, and hoped for the best. And it worked! Erdell summoned a real-life Martian right before his very eyes. So remember, kids, when in doubt, just push buttons. Never fails. The mysterious and powerful alien known as John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, immediately started using his incredible powers in front of the Doctor, like mind-reading and shape-shifting. Which was just the tip of Erdell's discoveries. Turns out, Martians have complete control over their bodies and can transform into practically anything, like a freaking dragon, an exact duplicate of Wonder Woman down to her central nervous system, or even a totally generic green monster that loves choco cookies. They can also shoot lasers from their eyes, fire psionic blasts, turn invisible, and phase through anything. Even Green Lantern constructs and force fields that Superman couldn't get through.
Wow.
They've got a crazy healing factor. John has regenerated back from a single limb, tiny pieces, or even a puddle of goo. This display of awe-inspiring power overwhelmed Dr. Erdell's poor human heart and caused him to die in the Martian's arms. Damn!
How tragic.
He accomplished his goal before he bit the red dust, right? Anyway,
I guess
John
so.
used his shape-shifting abilities to hide amongst his new world by assuming the identity of a recently deceased detective named John Jones. God, what a crazy coincidence, comic book writer, you clever man.
Okay, then. Alright, background. Name, John Jones. Height, 6'7", 200 centimeters. Weight, 300 pounds, 136 kilograms. Race, Martian. Occupation, police detective. Founding member of the Justice League. Likes choco cookies a lot. Okay, then. Well, they did say that he turns into a monster that apparently likes choco cookies, so I guess that's something. So, yeah. And, yeah, it does seem a bit lazy that a detective just so happened to have a similar sounding name to his actual name. So, I guess it could work. But in any case, he truly has a very compelling and very tragic background, especially with what happened to his creator. But hopefully he'll be able to do enough work so he can avenge his creator's will. I suppose we'll know if he'll be able to continue that when we get to his battle.
Jones lived a double life on Earth for many years, solving cases and helping as many people as he could from the shadows. But eventually, he stepped out, revealing himself to the world, and helped found the Justice League of America. And John definitely holds his own in the supergroup. He once pulled the Earth alongside Wonder Woman and Superman, who has stated that of all the beings in the known universe, he would be afraid to fight John. And he should be afraid. Superman wouldn't be the first Kryptonian John has gone toe-to-toe with. He's manhandled Ultraman, who's basically evil Superman from another universe. And Superboy Prime, who can shatter reality with his punches, and is also evil Superman from another universe. He took a blast from Asmodel, the King Angel from a literal army of heaven. He's held his own against dark...
Okay, feats. Survived the Hornmir's curse, elected leader of Mars II, or Mars 2, consistently goes toe-to-toe with Superman, flew from Mars to the Sun, regenerated from atomic levels of destruction, helped pull the Earth, defeated Asmodel, Brett, Marshall, Malefaak. Okay. Very strange how we see his feats right away before we even see what his powers are. But yeah, Martian Manhunter does seem to have some very impressive feats, especially since he always goes toe-to-toe against Superman of all people, and he even stated that he wouldn't stand a chance against someone like him. So yeah, that may be able to help him with his battle, but we don't know what his opponent is capable of, so we'll just have to hold that thought for now.
Darkseid, the manifestation of tyranny in the DC universe, and he's fast enough to catch up to Supergirl and Superman, who we know flies so fast he can burst the bonds of infinity. So basically, he's just as strong and just as fast as a bunch of crazy gods and demons. While Jean's strength and speed are obviously very impressive, it's also no secret that his greatest asset is his mind. He's one of the most powerful telepaths in all of the DC universe. He reads minds, but he can also shut them down altogether. And he once made Mr. Plexiglass, Mr. Mixed Pickles, your name, that's whatever. Anyway, he got him to subconsciously say his own name backwards, which God only knows because I can't say it forwards, which canceled out his powers. His psychic defense is strong enough to protect the Justice League against a worldwide telepathic attack. And his ability to sense people's feelings is so strong, he can feel every sentient being in the entire galaxy. And he once outlawed Perpetua from the Omniverse. Who's that, you ask? Oh, just the freaking creator of the entire multiverse. She's basically the god of everything. Jean needed to connect his consciousness with everyone on Earth before Perpetua could catch up. He pulled this off by using his mental abilities within the span of Planck time. Literally the smallest possible measurement of time. In the time it takes you to count to 1, Jean could count to 1 and fly across the universe and back over 200 sextillion times.
Wow.
God. He's a faster thinker than God. And it didn't end there. John took a punch from her and walked away with just a bloody nose. And when she disintegrated him into basically nothing, he regenerated back from a hit from God. Batman has said that John for good.
Okay, powers. Shape-shifting, Martian vision, phasing, flight, super breath, laser vision, regeneration, mind reading, telekinesis, soul manipulation. My word. Martian Manhunter has some very unique powers, especially since he was created as a cyborg with DNA from a Martian. And he's capable of using all this against Superman of all people? Man. This alien being certainly doesn't show any mercy. But we'll know for sure if any of these will hold up against his opponent.
You would have to literally destroy every single atom in his body, one by one. God
Wow.
damn, if I didn't love alliteration so much, I'd say we change this guy's name to Martian God Hunter or something. He's basically invincible, right? Not quite. Jean is not without weakness. He has a very real vulnerability to fire. At times, it has completely overwhelmed him to the point where he loses control of his body. And not just literal fire either. Jean was once tricked into just thinking he was surrounded by fire, and that was enough for him. Even still,
Wow.
Jean has been able to overcome this weakness. He's fought enemies with fire abilities and even taken hits from fire attacks, which leads me to believe the weakness, while potent and still able to cause real physical harm, is mainly psychosomatic. What are you doing? I heard what you said. Weakness to fire is just in your head. Oh my God! Another win in the mind.
Early Martian Manhunter stories were inconsistent on whether or not his weakness to fire was physical or mental, but recent issues have made it clear that it is physical. Likewise, John has trained to conquer this weakness, though he could still be incapacitated by larger flames. So before, it wasn't confirmed if fire was his physical or mental weakness. But in later comics, it was confirmed that it's actually a physical weakness, and he was able to conquer this weakness, though he's still able to become weaker by larger flames. Well, note to self, don't put him up against Firestorm or any other people who can cast fires. But his opponent won't be able to use any fire. But maybe this overcoming might not help him in the least. I guess we'll know when we get to the battle.
Column for sure. And to think there's a whole planet of these guys out there. Unfortunately, that's no longer the case. Before Dr. Erdell's strange experiment, Jean's own brother used the Martians' telepathic connection to each other against them, and the entire planet was plagued with Ronmir's curse. As long as they stayed telepathically connected, every Martian was vulnerable to a mental fire that would overwhelm them and burn them from the inside out. Which
My word.
Very well, because the fear of fire is something Jean shares with his fellow Martians. Centuries earlier, the Guardians of the Universe, a group of immortal aliens who run the Green Lantern Corps, feared that the Martian race could become too strong. So they programmed the Martians with that genetic weakness to fire. Jean was able to survive the fiery curse by cutting off his mental connection to his people, including his family. Unfortunately, his wife, Myria, and their daughter couldn't live with the isolation, and he had no choice but to watch them give in and burn alive. Damn.
Oh boy.
And survivor's guilt, Jean was left to wander his homeworld all alone. His only solace being shape-shifting into his lost loved ones to convince himself they were still alive. Oh my God! Jesus, Jean!
That's really messed up.
That pain has undoubtedly shaped who Jean is. In fact, the trauma he held onto so tightly formed a literal spiritual connection with those lost souls. A telepathic connection so strong, it kept them from finding peace in an afterlife. Let me say that again. His grief and telepathy were so strong, he prevented an entire race of people from moving on to the afterlife. It wasn't until years later that Jean could return to Mars and release those souls by finally letting go. And not to forget them, but to embrace his new life and his new home. A place he would defend time and time again to make sure the Earth never suffers a fate similar to Mars. To experience all of that, to truly know what it feels like to be alone in the vast universe, but continue to use your wisdom and power to help those in need, is what makes the Martian Manhunter such a noble hero. On a planet packed with other incredible heroes, Jean really has set himself apart. He's risen through the ashes and emerged the heart and soul of the Justice League.
That is insane. Alright, next up, Silver Surfer.
Utopia, free from any and all crime, poverty, and disease. And home to Norrin Rad, which I've gotta say is the sickest, most radical name I have ever heard in my entire life. He was a brainy kid who was raised to live a life of reason and intellect over one of gnarly adventure. That is, until the technologically advanced society came under threat from the devourer of worlds, Galactus. So Norin struck up a deal with the World Muncher. In exchange for sparing his planet, Mr. Red offered to leave his home behind, become Galactus's herald, and seek out new planets for him to scarf down. And once Galactus agreed to the deal, he imbued his new herald with the power cosmic, transforming him into the Silver Surfer. An equally tubular name. 2 for 2. Wow, you rarely see it. The power cosmic grants the
Okay then. Background. Name Norn Rad. Height 6'4", 193 centimeters. Weight 225 pounds, 102 kilograms. Former Herald of Galactus, member of the Defenders, officially a citizen of the Earth, seen the Wizard of Oz 1,000 times. Okay, that's really interesting. Aliases: Cosmic Messiah, Cosmic Wonder, Doombringer, Gleambody, Norville Rappaport, Sentinel of the Spaceways. Wow. This guy actually used to work for Galactus and has become an official citizen of Earth and member of the Defenders, and has been given all sorts of aliases apart from Silver Surfer. Well, his origin doesn't seem as tragic as his opponent's, but I suppose being that way might give him more confidence to win this battle. We'll just have to wait and see.
Surfer near unlimited energy, as well as matter manipulation, phasing, super strength, speed, and invulnerability, just to name a few. The Surfer's basically got all of Galactus' space magic, just on a smaller scale, and Galactus uses...
Being the first Herald, the Silver Surfer has a wider range of abilities than the heralds that came after him. So, he was the first Herald of Galactus, and he had even more abilities than the heralds that took over his role. Just goes to show that you can't beat the originals.
That power to fight guys like the In-Betweener, an abstract being from the overspace. The Surfer used the power cosmic to serve Galactus diligently for nearly 100 years, during which he ensured that the planets consumed were devoid of sentient life. That is, until the Surfer accidentally offered up a planet with life, which drove him crazy.
Oh no.
So Galactus tried his best to suppress the Surfer's emotions, erase the painful memories, and make it easier for him to find planets with tasty, delicious life, guilt-free. How nice of him. And it worked for a while
then.
Until the Surfer reached Earth. Galactus' mighty mind manipulation wasn't enough.
The comic that this originated from implied that the mind manipulation happened shortly before the Surfer reached Earth. However, there are numerous stories that follow the Surfer before he arrives to Earth, suggesting that there was likely a good amount of time between these two events. I see. So he was given the mind's manipulation before he arrived to Earth, but there are stories that say that he was hit with it after he got to Earth. And that there were likely a good amount of time between these two events. So it seems that even though he's a celestial being, he's not immune to mind manipulation. That might be a problem for him, but maybe when we get to the battle, we'll see if he finds any way around that.
Enough to bury the Surfer's true nature for good. With the help of Alicia Masters and the Fantastic Four, the Surfer turned against his overlord and saved the Earth from being eaten. But even after all that, Galactus just let the Surfer keep his powers. At any point, he could have just taken them back. Being the source of the Surfer's powers, yes, he could. But Galactus has continued to let the Surfer have the power cosmic.
Galactus has so much respect for the Surfer. In Silver Surfer Requiem, Galactus grieved for his death in Zen Law alongside the rest of his people. I see. So even though the Surfer betrayed Galactus, he still held respect for him, so much so that he was completely devastated about his death along with the rest of his kind. So maybe this tyrannical tyrant has a heart? But then again, it could just only be for the Surfer. I guess that's something to think about at another moment.
Out of respect for his first herald. Damn. See, that's the kind of respect I'm asking from you. Anyway, ever since those mental gymnastics with Galactus, the Surfer made sure nothing like that would ever happen again. And he's been successful. Like when Psycho Man failed to trick the Surfer.
Feats can match the 6 Infinity Stones. Power. Cosmic energy can be extended to the entire universe, pulled a giant ship out of a black hole, stilled every molecule so no sound could be made, took the pain of the entire macroverse, crashed into the Big Bang, travels so fast, reaches singularity, defeated Galactus, Hulk, Thor, Mephisto. Man. So the Silver Surfer does have some great feats, especially since he was able to defeat the devourer of millions of planets. But then again, if it wasn't for Galactus, he never would have gotten his powers. But still, these other feats do seem to give him much more of an advantage here. But I suppose we'll have to see for ourselves if any of them still hold up.
With his illusions, or when he was briefly trapped in the Supreme Intelligence's mind when it was using the Mind Stone. With some of those mental threats behind him, he could finally take to the spaceways, kick ass, and monologue about the meaning of life in the universe. All of which he's quite good at, especially that last one. It's thanks to the abilities afforded to him through all that cosmic energy. It's seriously crazy. He can rearrange the molecules of anything he wants into anything he wants. He can force you to just feel pain in general, and he can even control elements. Not just earth, wind, and fire, but anything in a boogie wonderland like gravity and the weather. He's got enough power and energy inside.
Powers and weapons. The power cosmic, energy manipulation, matter manipulation, soul manipulation, elemental manipulation, possession, telekinesis, hypnosis, regeneration, cosmic awareness, intangibility. Silver Surfboard can be turned into weapons, can act with just a thought from the Surfer, can be rebuilt by the Surfer. Those powers do seem to give him the upper hand here, and his trademark surfboard is capable of being with him and being rebuilt only by the Silver Surfer himself. I guess that could be maybe that could be enough for him to take out his opponent. I guess we'll know for sure when we get to the official battle.
Him that he once created an infant star to serve as a new light source in a universe devoid of light. So just when he needed it, he was able to pop out a baby sun? That's convenient. That's the power cosmic. But we can't forget about the sick board he shreds the stars with, this thing's basically an extension of himself. He can transform it into a sweet sword or into pure cosmic energy, and if it breaks, he can just form a new one. On his board, the surfer has traveled at incalculable speeds on multiple occasions. He can fly faster than Thor, and even once flew so fast he reached the future. Even without his board, he was broke free from energy shackles that would zap away his power within the next nanosecond. Gnarly, brah. He once outsurfed a wave of universal destruction. He had to surf out of all of existence as it was being torn apart. Now, I've seen some choice waves in my day, but if you ask me, that's one too best for watching on the beach with a brew. You're, hitting it real hard with all this surfing.
Okay.
He's honestly not that kind of guy at all. Righteously disagree with you, dude. You are carving up my brainwaves into an E-frame swell that I just can't bail. I'm waxed, man, waxed. The Silver Surfer is a tragic figure who is always weighing his choices through every angle of morality. Like when he set out to destroy the new host of the Star Brand, an energy source that grants his wielders virtually infinite power, capable of wiping out all life on Earth. The Star Brand seems to choose a new unknowing host at random. Could be a good guy, could be the most evil person to ever exist. But despite that threat, the Surfer spared the new Star Brand once he found out she was carrying a child. He decided to bear...
Another example of the surfer wrestling with moral quandaries was when Zenn-La began invading worlds to force their culture on them. To save those worlds, the surfer erased Zenn-La culture from the entire universe. So the surfer was trying to erase the culture from a different sentient being or planet or whatever. And this was just another example of him trying to figure out what his true morals are. Man. Although not as emotionally unstable as his opponent, that certainly shows that he is struggling with what's right and what's wrong. I suppose that does make him a bit more sympathetic in my book.
The weight of any potential consequences on his own shoulders instead of squashing any and all hope that the child would use that power for good. I get it. He's a righteous dude on a surfboard. Exactly. And in the surfer's case, a keen sense
I guess you could say that.
With a keen sense of his surroundings in general. He can see enemies even when they're invisible and can sense incoming threats to the point where he can sense someone approaching even before they've left their own home. He can also absorb energy his opponents throw at him. Anything from psionic energy to a freaking star. The surfer can even do it when he's on death's door. Hey, Wiz, what do you think the doormat on death's door says? Probably like, knock him dead, right? What are you talking? Now, it does take a lot to get the surfer to death's door. He's taken a blast from the Infinity Stones, survived being smashed into pieces, crashed into the Big Bang, and played catch with the star. He caught it and then threw it right back at that punk Deadpool. Ha! I hope you like a big ball of gas in your face, you tool. Reed, the smartest man alive, has said that the surfer is probably the most powerful being in all the galaxy. And even after years spent drifting through the galaxy, he's still built strong bonds, like with the Fantastic Four, the Defenders, and with people like Dawn Greenwood. But somehow, he always ends up alone in space, searching for answers, searching for beings that need his help, searching for something that could replace the home that he lost all those years ago. Only to be weighed down by the guilt of his servitude and the pain of his sacrifice, which was ultimately done in vain, cause it doesn't seem to matter what the surfer does. Zenn-La is destined for destruction. At this point, his home world has been destroyed 4 times over. Despite it all, this tragic hero still manages to take everything in stride as he surfs the stars and fights tirelessly to preserve every being's right to live.
Okay.
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities. It's time for a death battle!
Let's get started.
In all of my journeys, I have never seen anything quite like this.
I assumed your journeys would have made you rather familiar with places like this, Norenrad.
Oh?
Or should I say, Silver Surfer? Now, tell me why you have summoned me here.
Oh boy.
Enough.
Mind over matter. Oh. So is this like a Twilight Zone episode? Well, there they go.
Tell me your secrets.
I must end this.
Ooh. Oh.
There is no use in hiding. I can feel your presence.
Ooh. Oh boy. Ooh.
Nothing can best Martian might.
Your will is admirable, but will alone is not enough.
Oh boy.
The pain.
You and I possess the same knowledge.
That only one of us can survive, and we know not why.
I hope you can live with the uncertainty.
Oh?
Victory comes with no certain satisfaction. I may never know why we were made to fight. If violence is ever truly justified, perhaps there is something worthy in the battle.
Myria.
Something beyond my understanding.
Whoa. The end.
KO! Whiz! What the hell are we doing? Why are we forcing such beautiful souls to fight to the death? Both the Silver Surfer and the Martian Manhunter were two extraordinarily powerful beings, each with very wide power sets. So they both had counters for almost everything they could throw at each other. They could both phase through objects, rearrange...
Results. Martian Manhunter. Positives, likely comparable in strength and speed. Negatives, no real way to permanently kill Surfer, less versatile. Silver Surfer. Positives, better regeneration, could likely resist mental manipulation. Power Cosmic offers many advantages. Negatives, certain powers like molecular manipulation could be resisted. So it seems that the Silver Surfer has no real way to be killed permanently. And he has better regeneration and is able to resist mental manipulation, which is one of Martian Manhunter's powers. And it seems that certain powers like molecular manipulation might be resisted, since Martian Manhunter is able to regenerate himself by atoms. But seeing as how Silver Surfer has more advantages than Martian Manhunter, it seems that Silver Surfer takes one win here.
molecules and regenerate their own bodies. But arguably the biggest thing on the Martian Manhunter's side was his formidable telepathy. The Surfer has had his memories erased and his emotions manipulated by Galactus. So it would stand to reason that Jean could pose a mental threat to the Surfer. But the Surfer has resisted mental attacks many times.
The Surfer is aware of the infinite planes of reality and has also commanded beings who can think seventh dimensionally. Wow. So the Surfer is able to withstand any infinite planes of reality and was able to command beings that can think seventh dimensionally. Guess that's another point for the Surfer.
When Psycho Man played on the Surfer's Guild and pretended to be his lost love, the Surfer saw right through it, and he escaped the Supreme Intelligence's mind when it was using a freaking Mind Stone. These two could have gone toe-to-toe around the universe for a long time, but when it came down to it, the question was, who had the power to put the other down for good? They both have some serious healing factors and have come back from basically nothing. But if ending Martian Manhunter meant destroying his every atom one by one, the Surfer has the means to make that happen thanks to the seemingly endless well of energy that is the power cosmic. It's truly an overwhelming source of unlimited power.
The Surfer has had his powers removed by machinery specifically designed to take an infinite amount of power. Not even Rogue could take that much power. So the Silver Surfer's power was removed by machinery, which was designed to take infinite power, and so much so that not even the strongest female member of the X-Men could withstand it. I guess that's a third point for the Surfer, since he was able to erase every single one of Martian Manhunter's atoms, thanks to his divine power.
And outside of Galactus stripping the power away from him, the Surfer is never without it. It's like a battery. Even if Jean could drain all of the cosmic energy, the Surfer can just recharge it. And he's used that power to destroy planets, defeat Galactus-level threats, and can basically accomplish anything with it. While both of these philosophic heroes tend to hold back out of a respect for life, there's obviously no holding back here. And the depth of Silver Surfer's abilities gave him the win. This Martian was harsh in his mellow, so the Surfer had to wave goodbye. Bodacious Cowabunga Hang 10 Ninja Turtles! The winner is the Silver Surfer.
Congratulations, Silver Surfer.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, we have a new Death Battle releasing every 2 weeks this year. And click the join button to get new perks and extra content. Planet level members even see Death Battles before anyone else, so don't miss out.
Oh. Bill Cipher versus Discord. So that was Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer, and Silver Surfer reigned victoriously. Just goes to show how emotional distress can be a very helpful asset to an extraterrestrial being. Man. Who knows what other things are cooking up between DC and Marvel nowadays. Alright everyone, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.